Welcome to the JS Self-Care Mind, Body, and Soul podcast, a weekly conversation about self-care, personal development, and all the small decisions we can make to become the best possible versions of ourselves. I'm your host, Janelle. I am a social worker and a self-care life coach based out of New York. For more information, visit my website at jsselfcare.org. I want to welcome my new listeners, and I also want to welcome my returning listeners. If you can please share this episode, because there's someone in this world who needs to listen to this episode. I also want to personally thank you for making the JS Self-Care Mind, Body, and Soul part of your weekly routine. I truly, truly appreciate you. This week is the end of our holiday self-care series. It's the end of 2020 in 3 days and the beginning of 2021 on Friday. This is not the time that we stop taking care of ourselves. This is the season where we go hard on taking care of ourselves. Yup, go hard or go home type of self-care. The way we go hard by caring for ourselves throughout the holiday is we need to be intentional. We need to do everything on purpose. I will be great on purpose. I will love me on purpose. I will work on me on purpose, etc. I know you get my drift. Self-care is no longer an option. Self-care is mandatory in 2021. This New Year's Eve, some of us may have the opportunity to deal with family that may not accept their lifestyles and identity, which can make this New Year's awkward and uncomfortable. Knowing that you are going to have to be around those who refuse to accept or even know who you are can be incredibly anxiety-provoking. From fear of being misgendered, intentionally or not, in front of family, to comments about your sexuality. For those that are out or those who are not, the holidays with family means addressing these identities internally and externally. These experiences can be embarrassing and traumatic, something no one ever wants to feel, especially during the holidays. Struggling with being accepted is real, and I am using my platform to share with you that you may struggle with being who you are. I just wish we all were accepted no matter what. Be who you are and don't be who others want you to be. Reevaluate your family circle and know that change is a great thing. Here are a few self-care tips that you can use when caring and loving you. Our first self-care tip is accept and love who you are. It can be a struggle when you are not accepted and loved because you are not living a normal life, air quotes. Who the hell are others to tell you what is normal? I am not saying this in a way that is easy, because the ones we look to accept in us is our family and our loved ones. I'm saying accept you for who you are. You shouldn't have to explain what you identify as. You should be able to say who you are, and others should accept who you are. We are all humans. If another human is not accepting of another human, you may have to exit yourself left. Self-care is loving the skin you are in. Self-care is accepting who you are and also accepting that there will be others who don't accept you, and you knowing that those who don't accept you need not be in your life. This holiday season has taught me that I don't need to sit at a table with people who don't accept me for who I am. I want you to also be okay with not sitting at tables that don't accept you. Every table that is set is not meant for everyone to sit at. Self-acceptance is what is needed. Accept you for who you are, not for what others want you to be. Number 52 is take action no matter what. As I always say, be like Nike and just do it You got this. Can't stop, won't stop. Procrastination can be the cause of stress, anxiety, and depression. So do yourself and your body a favor and resolve the things you need to do. Get as prepared and organized for this new year as possible. Aim to complete what you need to do before the end of the year and continue to aim to be your greatest you in 2021. Let's stop talking about what we want to do and let's do it. How many of us talk about, I need me time, I need some me time? Well, the next one is pamper yourself. Take the time to care and love up on you. Work on your self-maintenance and self-soothing. Go to the salon and get a new do. Treat yourself to a spa day. Take a hot shower or take a nice hot bath and ask your mind to shut down so you can sit without a care in the world. Or go and get your nails done or do whatever it is you do that makes you feel good. Take the time to treat yourself to something you enjoy. Pamper yourself. Next holiday self-care tip is be intentional every day, all day. Ask yourself what's most important to you during the holiday, and also be intentional every day, all day going forward. Ask yourself what you want to do. Ask yourself who you want to spend time with. Being clear about your priorities will help you stay focused on what matters most to you. When we are intentional, we get to ask ourselves what it is that we want and want to do. We get to take powers over what makes us happy. If we are asked something that we don't want to do, we are able to say no. Period. Be intentional every day, all day. One is ask for help. Ask for support. If you've got too much on your plate or you're feeling overwhelmed, the best thing you can do is speak. Use your words and ask for help. People want to help, especially those who care about your self-care. Your job is to reach out and be clear about what kind of support you need most. For instance, when I first started the self-care, self-soothing boxes, I had to ask my friends for help because I surely didn't know how to make candles. I asked my friend Jamae because she knew how to make candles. I told her and my friend Janelle I wanted my clients to pick their own boxes. And guess what? Me and my two friends, Jamae and Janelle, went and picked out boxes that they liked, so I had at least two people's eyes to give my consumers, my clients, more box options. Janelle invited her partner. He also came and helped with bagging teas. I asked my friends and they came through. They actually came to the rescue. All we have to do is ask and we shall receive. Tip number 56 is take a break from the electronics and social media. This year has been very stressful, from COVID, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, the stimulus check, and on to the election. Last but not least, we were not able to celebrate the holidays with our loved ones. This time of the season that we are in can most definitely be stressful enough without falling prey to the comparison game which social media tends to fuel. So do yourself a favor and give yourself a break from social media and the news as often as you can. I suggest while you're cleaning the house, it is a great time to focus on your cleaning and leave the phone in another room. I suggest you turn the TV off and put the phone down and play some music and dance. Do whatever you like as long as you take a TV, social media break. Our next one is ditch the perfection mentality. Let it go. We all want the holidays to be the most memorable and meaningful time of the year. As humans, we strive for perfect. I am here to tell you, if you are striving for perfection, you are setting yourself up for a lot of stress and disappointment. Perfection does not exist, and chasing it only makes you crazy. I need every human in this world, including me, to let go of having the perfect person, the perfect holiday, the perfect business, the perfect this, the perfect that. I need you to be okay with having a authentic, good enough one, whether that be good holiday, good business, and let go of the illusion of a perfect this and a perfect that. By us ditching the perfect mentality, I can guarantee you'll end up enjoying yourself a lot more because you have let go the illusion of perfect. 58th tip is smile, even if you're not in the mood to smile. You know that saying, you got to fake it till you make it. Sometimes you have to put on that fake smile. It can uplift your spirit. If you're feeling the opposite of happy, try grinning from ear to ear. Just the act of smiling can help uplift you, and it can also help snap you out of that nasty funk. So, a self-care holiday tip is smile, even when you're feeling unhappy. Next holiday self-care tip is be true to yourself. Take time to align with your values and recognize what is important to you. If you recognize what is important to you before the new year comes in, you can check from time to time if you are aligning with your true self. For example, if a core value of yours is humility, it might be congruent to compare what you have in your home to what your neighbor has in their home. No matter what, be true to you and be thankful for what you have. And don't compare your stuff to your neighbor's stuff. Our next one is get connected with your emotions. Society typically frowns upon being connected to our emotions. People who are sensitive often feel weak and vulnerable. However, attuning your emotional awareness is helpful in being able to discern your needs and regulate accordingly. It's common to feel overwhelmed by the energy of the holiday season. When you are able to recognize this emotion, you may be tempted to sweep it under the rug and not deal because we are all afraid of judgment or we just don't want to feel our emotions. Guess what? By sweeping your emotions under the rug doesn't make them go away. It may actually grow and overpower you because you did not recognize and handle your emotions. On the flip side, being able to tap into your feelings allows you to use your emotions as signals. Noticing when you begin to feel overwhelmed can help you to recognize that you can cope to bring yourself back. Perhaps you can take a break and feel your emotions. Get connected with all your emotions. Our next holiday self-care tip is create healthy boundaries. Boundaries is not an option. Boundaries are essential for our mental health well-being. During the holidays, especially this year, it can be helpful to establish and honor your own limitations with yourself. If you cannot respect your own boundaries, you have paved an easy path for others to step all over your parameters. Let's say, for example, that earlier in the year you crafted the intention to avoid fueling negative self-talk. You know that negative self-talk I'm talking about. You're not going to be nothing. You're not going to go nowhere. You have to forgive other people who cross your boundaries. While it may be more difficult during this season, maintaining your personal boundary is essential. Instead of deflecting a compliment with self-deprecating humor and opening the stage for the butt jokes that permeate through your self-esteem, hold true to the boundaries you have established for yourself. During this season, it is prime time to practice your boundaries with others. Be mindful and create boundaries to repel toxicity. but caution letting negativity overshadow positivity. A common mistake when enforcing boundaries is that you can be so stern that we may exercise restraint with the person who is managing you about your personal life. Know when it's okay to let someone in who genuinely cares about you. Our next one is focus on the present moment, not the past, not the future. Focus on the present. This is the season where we reflect on the past, including thoughts of the year behind us, the traditions that have evolved, the relationships that ended, and the lives we have lost. It can also be a time that prompts worry and fear from concerns about being in the presence of toxic people or what is to come in the year ahead. 2021, we coming for you. There is no way we can time travel to the past or the future. Instead of trying to go backwards because we want to revisit the past or we are obsessing over the future, give yourself in the present moment as the best version of yourself. Live in the present. Prioritize you and stop putting others before your self-care. During this season, we may spend more time with our loved ones than in the months prior to this season called the holidays. For some, warmth and connection align well with self-care, but for others, seeing others' journeys can serve as a distraction. Self-care does not mean that you have to isolate yourself from your loved ones, but it's important to recognize when you prioritize someone else's wellness more than they prioritize their own. Can't do that. There are ways that you can help a loved one who might need help. However, your mental health has to come first. Research has shown that behavioral change is complicated and cannot be forced. Behavioral change comes naturally. When you know better, you do better. Consider closure before 2021 begins. With the end of the year approaching well in the next 3 days, you may find yourself evaluating the 11 months prior. You might realize that there are obstacles to your mental wellness that you have been carrying that you no longer wish to hold. Perhaps this is a conflict with a once close loved one or an unhealthy habit you wish to cease. If you are ready and able, this is a great time to practice forgiveness. Wait. I know you're saying easier said than done. I get it, but it can be done. If your hopes are high, but you believe you are lacking the ability to address forgiveness, it may be helpful to consider speaking to a professional or getting professional assistance or reaching out to me, your self-care life coach. But you have to consider closure, especially when we're going into 2021. Our last holiday self-care tip is commit to self-growth. The holiday season is a perfect time for self-reflection. This is a good time for self-exploration as you acknowledge the year behind you and the fresh year ahead of you. How have you used your strength? How have you worked on your personal growth journey? Take time to embrace imperfection. Accept that no one is perfect. However, remember that we all have the potential to grow. Instead of shaming yourself for the resolutions you abandoned in February 2020, make note of all that went well and use the remaining gaps to empower yourself to set loving goals for 2021. Taking care of yourself is extremely important as this time of year is so easy to forget about you and put all your attention on everyone else and everything else. If you do not spend time caring for yourself, you will feel totally exhausted with no energy to enjoy the holidays. Self-care is often associated with overindulgence or even selfishness. Especially as humans, we often feel guilty for taking time out for ourselves. We are so accustomed to taking care of others that taking care of ourselves feels unfamiliar or even uncomfortable. If you take care of yourself well, you have more resources to take care of others. So enjoy the new year and remember to take time to care for your own needs and emotions. Remember, as the flight attendant said, as part of their safety preparations, you need to put on your own oxygen mask first before helping others. JS Self-Care wants to wish you all a happy new year. I will see you all in 2021 with some more self-care tips. If mental health treatment is needed, please don't hesitate to contact a therapist in your area. Self-care is important and necessary. Take care of you and continue to put you first no matter what. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, rate, and share for daily doses of self-care, affirmations, and notes to self. Make sure you join the JS Self-Care social media tribe on most social media platforms. Social media links will be placed in this episode notes. Happy New Year.